Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are two of the most captivating names in pop culture today, and their relationship has fueled a wildfire of speculation, headlines, and social media debates. But just when the world thought it had their story figured out, Swift herself stepped into the conversation, delivering a message that shook up all the assumptions and gossip. In a tone both direct and refreshingly honest, she told fans and the media alike, "Enough is enough." It was a rare moment of candor, even for Swift, who has built an entire career on laying her emotions bare. This time, though, the topic wasn't a heartbreak anthem or a veiled reference to an ex. It was a clear boundary set for the world to see. Swift made it known that she and Kelce are simply enjoying their time together. No secret engagements, no hidden wedding plans, no wild twists waiting in the wings. They're just two people living their lives and trying to find some normalcy in the chaos. The timing of her message couldn't have been more perfect. Headlines had reached a fever pitch, with every public appearance dissected for clues. Were those matching bracelets a sign? Was that trip to Europe a hint at something bigger? Swift's inbox, no doubt, was overflowing with questions from well-meaning fans and persistent reporters. But instead of feeding the frenzy, she called for calm. "We're happy, and that's all that matters right now. The rest is nobody's business until we decide it is," she stated, her words ringing with a firmness that left no room for misinterpretation. It was a line in the sand, drawn boldly for all to see. Swift didn't just want to shut down rumors. She wanted to remind the world that, at the end of the day, she and Kelce are human beings. They're not characters in a never-ending romance novel, nor are they reality TV stars scripting drama for the cameras. They're a couple, with real feelings and real challenges, just trying to figure things out like anyone else. The emotional toll of living under this kind of scrutiny isn't something that most people can understand. Swift described how even the simplest moments, grabbing coffee, taking a walk, sharing a private joke, can spiral into a headline. The constant need to perform, to live up to the public's ever-growing list of expectations, can be exhausting. "People forget we're human," she reminded everyone, a simple truth that often gets lost in the celebrity machine. Kelce, for his part, has echoed these sentiments in his own way. Known for his quick wit and easygoing nature, he often makes light of the gossip swirling around them. But even he has shown signs of frustration as the pressure piles on. Together, they make a united front, determined not to let outside voices drown out what matters most: their happiness. Swift's message wasn't just for the tabloids, though. It was a gentle nudge to her fans, the very people who have supported her through every album, every tour, every heartbreak. She knows their curiosity comes from a place of love, but she also knows how easily support can tip into intrusion. "We love our fans, but we also need space," she said, drawing a distinction between celebration and suffocation. She painted a vivid picture to drive the point home. Imagine if every time you went out with someone, the whole world was debating when you get engaged. It's a scenario that sounds absurd, yet it's the reality for many celebrities. The line between public and private life has never been more blurry, and Swift is determined to redraw it. In the days following her statement, reactions poured in from every corner of the internet. Some fans applauded her courage, grateful for her honesty and her willingness to stand up for herself. Others debated what her words really meant, analyzing every syllable for hidden meanings. But the overwhelming response was one of support, with many people echoing her call for privacy and respect. It's not just a celebrity problem either. Swift's comments struck a chord with anyone who's ever felt judged by people who only see a fraction of their story. In an age where social media puts everyone's life on display, her plea for boundaries feels more relevant than ever. It's a reminder that happiness isn't about meeting someone else's expectations. It's about living on your own terms. The story behind Swift's bold stance is a fascinating one. Since going public with their relationship, she and Kelce have been at the center of a media storm. Every date, every affectionate gesture, every Instagram post has been analyzed for clues. Rumors of engagements, weddings, and even breakups have swirled nonstop, fueled by anonymous sources and clickbait headlines. But as the speculation grew wilder, Swift's patience wore thin. Instead of letting the rumors pass by in silence, she decided to confront them head-on. She made it clear that she and Kelce were not going to let anyone else write their story. The pressure wasn't just annoying, it was starting to take a real toll on their lives. Kelsey, usually the life of the party and the king of witty one-liners, began to show signs that the attention was getting to him too. It's one thing to joke about the gossip, but it's another to feel like every move you make is being watched and judged. Together, they decided to take back control, to set a new standard for how celebrity relationships are handled. Swift's warning was more than just a personal boundary. It was a rallying cry for anyone who's ever felt boxed in by other people's expectations. She reminded the world that happiness isn't about checking off milestones on someone else's timeline. It's about making choices that feel right for you and protecting the things that matter most. The fallout from her comments was immediate, but also transformative. For once, the conversation shifted away from guessing games and towards something more meaningful: respect, privacy, and the importance of boundaries. Fans and fellow celebrities alike applauded her courage, and the message spread far beyond her own relationship. As the dust settled, Swift and Kelsey stepped back from the spotlight, choosing to focus on what really mattered: their connection. They stopped trying to satisfy the world's curiosity and started living for themselves. In doing so, they set an example for others, showing that it's possible to be public figures without sacrificing your right to a private life. The impact of Swift's words continues to ripple outward. Her willingness to speak out, to set a boundary and hold it, has inspired countless others to do the same. Conversations about privacy, respect, and the dangers of overanalyzing other people's lives have taken on new urgency. Looking ahead, it's clear that Swift and Kelsey are committed to doing things their way. They're not interested in playing by anyone else's rules or living up to anyone else's expectations. They're writing their own story, one day at a time, with all the ups and downs that come with being in a high-profile relationship. Their journey may not be perfect, and it may not always make sense to the outside world. But it's theirs, and they're determined to protect it at all costs. Swift's story is one of resilience and defiance, a refusal to be defined by headlines or hashtags. As they move forward, the world will no doubt keep watching. There will always be new rumors, new theories, new reasons for people to speculate. But Swift and Kelsey aren't interested in playing along. They're focused on each other, on building something real, and on tuning out the noise. For fans who want to keep following their journey, the message is clear: be patient, be respectful, and remember that the real story is the one they choose to share. Anything else is just background noise. So what comes next for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Only they know for sure, and that's exactly how it should be. Their happiness, their choices, and their love story belong to them, and that in the end is the only headline that matters.